beyond ATC connected.
Nose forward on the 6. Command Toga, SRS runway, auto thrust is blue. 80 knots, thrust set. 5500. 31. Rotate.
Check, check. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday. Happy, what is it? Is today start of Hanukkah? I think Hanukkah starts today as well. Happy Hanukkah holiday season. Welcome in, y'all. It's been 10 days since we've been able to go live. A lot has happened in the last 10 days. I hope everybody is well. Thank you for tuning in on the semi-short notice. I knew I was going to stream today, just wasn't sure what time. I had to take care of some stuff this morning. But we are in for another treat. One of my, I won't say it's my favorite route, but it's like one of those sneaky routes that we don't do very often. We discovered this on the South America, Latin America tour, and it's just a really scenic flight to do, and it's just beautiful flying down here in the very southern tip of South America and Argentina. So we're headed down to Ushuaia. Gosh, I don't know if I'm saying that right. From Senor Eduardo Monoclin Airport, I don't know how to say it, SAVC. It should be about an hour and 30 minutes or so in flight in the 737NG, latest and latest updated version. There is a potential release date. I did see that from PMDG saying approximately the 18th is what they're shooting for. So that's 3 more days, and you're going to be flying 737NGs yourselves. If indeed, you know, I'm sure it's still a moving date, but barring anything crazy, that is very exciting. Mathis Cock, good to see you as I'm talking about it. Thank you. Appreciate you stopping by. Hope you had a wonderful weekend, sir. Joe Plains Tower. Ray, what's up, man? Good to see you as well. Maviocious is here. McAllen is also in the house. Tyson, Zach Deal, Christophson, Aaron, the Irish lad, checking in. How you doing, my man? Hope all is well. Av Apollo, Random Hacker. What's up? Good to see you. Scotty 2. Digital Merc is in the house. Good to see you, man. Digital Merc. I'm getting some. I'm getting the itch for some Pacific Northwest prop ops here. So I'm getting the itch for some Pacific Northwest prop ops. Key 6 in the house, my man. How you doing? Hope all is well. Welcome back to the US of A. I saw your pictures, dude. Epic. Looked like a pretty fun trip you had, man. So good to see you. Key 6 in the house. Mathis Cox says, my weekend was spent working. There will be an update later today, though. Ooh, chat. Well, here's the thing. The family is sick at home, and I'm trying not to get sick because I got to do some more studying. So if we get an update later today, maybe we should do a PM stream if it's in time. No pressure, PMDG. But that's awesome, man. I will be looking forward to that update as well. So, AJ Fernari, what's up, man? Good to see you. Says that lady wearing a polka dot high dress, the second marriage, waiting for a captain. Indeed. Good thing I'm a first officer now. But yeah, totally agree, AJ. Maybe she's waiting for a full flap sim. Brad Ward 4725, good to see you as well for the 1 year of support. Thanks for the year of fun. Everyone loving the 737 juice. Me too. And this is going to be good because I haven't actually been on any sim in the last 10 days. I haven't done any really flow study. I've been doing some system study and some self-training CBTs and stuff. So it's good to see where my recall is. I'm going to try my best not to use any follow-along guides for my flows and checks right now. See how much I remember from kind of not doing it in the last couple days. But yeah, it should be good. It should be good. Joe Plains, thanks for the 36 months. Says a new badge indeed, man. That's awesome. Look at you. I've got the wings there. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And AJ, one more thing. Vikings suck, man. I can't believe the Cowboys are so terrible, man. What a terrible game last night. I was like, well, I'm going to watch this game and not study. And then I was like, after about halfway through the second quarter, I was like, I already know how this game's going to end. And sure enough, it ended exactly the way I thought it was going to end. So I started studying. So with that said, ooh, PM stream in the Bonanza when? Zach Dill, my man, we haven't flown a Bonanza or the Baron. Yo, Baron. I think we need to do Baron, dude. I think we did one flight in the Baron and then we did the rest Bonanza. All right. It depends on when, if, / maybe I get an updated version of this aircraft. If we have one in time, we'll do a PM73 stream. If we don't have one in time, we'll probably do a Bonanza or Baron stream this evening. Although there is Monday Night Football. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Dougal McTavish, good to see you, my friend. He says, I want a copy of this one, this on a World Flight Simfest streams. Looking forward to it eagerly. Oh, Dougal McTavish. Well, that is awesome. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Glad to see you here, Dougal. Hope all is well at home. Dougal, just we added another pup to the family of Mr. Stanley, who... God rest his soul. He left us about a couple months ago now. We got a new pup, and it's just reminding me of all the original, streams and vids, and just it's crazy, man. But new pup in the house. Classic Jet Sim Pilot, good to see you, man. So again, here we go. Here's a typical reunion stream. Take 10 days off, and we don't ever get the flight started. But it's fun. Let's do it. Classic Jet Sim Pilot, sub if you want to chat. Happy Monday and Merry Christmas. Hope the training is going well. Classic Jet Sim Pilot, thank you, sir. Merry Christmas to you as well. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to rock and roll. Falcon Wings, would you be interested in previewing? Yes. I need San Juan. I know, and I want to do San Juan, Puerto Rico. I want to do Ponce again, and I also want to do some V-Pilot design stuff in South America. But we don't have any Avianca or liveries to fly down there, and I was kind of. We did like 3 or 2 American Airlines streams, so I'm kind of like just waiting for this airplane to drop, and maybe we'll fly more that direction. But yes, I'm definitely interested, and I definitely will. I'm just kind of tied to kind of the airlines that I have right now while we're still in pre-release. Puppy Cam Wen, gray shirt, what's up? Well, I sent a little sneak peek of Puppy Pick this morning. I was doing my home study on the fuel system. Oh, no. Well, I did that too. I did the oxygen system and fuel system, and had my pup with me studying, so she was just sleeping there next to me. But yeah, Puppy Cam, man, dude, she looks like a Beanie Baby, the cutest beagle. I mean, they're all cute. This is my 3rd beagle now, and I don't know. Everyone you have is the cutest beagle you'll ever have. It's something about beagles I love. I'll show you pics up in cruise if we get up there. DK Metcalf needs 50 points tonight. I know, Tyson. Don't talk to me. Get out of here. Okay, let's let me get my yoke booted up here, and then we're gonna go live, or we already are live. Let me get my yoke connected, and then we're gonna get this airplane fired up. I gotta pull that air stair there and connect the jet bridge as well. AJ Funari, Lily. We got a little baby Lily. Lily is her name. And I like it because it's kind of short for lily pad, because she's going to be a fishing dog. She's going to go fish the lily pads. Have you started type rating training? Yes, Paxman. I have been in training, all ground and system so far. I start sims on the 10th of January. So I've been doing, I've got a whole home study course that I am doing right now. I'm getting my flows down, and I'm learning systems, and I am utilizing the tools at my disposal, such as this lovely bird right here, the PMDG 73NG, to help kind of guide me through, familiarization of the aircraft. But make sure you hit those practice tests. I know, Turks, I'm not there yet. I'm not practice test yet. I still got to finish some ethos stuff, but yes, practice testing will be hitting hard here pretty soon. I want to finish up all my ethos first. Almost done with it. I think I just have, maybe 2 or 3 long ones left that I need to do. All right, let's rock and roll. Guppy failure stream when? Ooh, well, I did see some things about the fuel system that I want to try today. There's some extra lights and stuff I want to take a look at. So anyway, here we are. Let me see if I can set up my views again where I can do like co-pilot and first officer toggle on the same view. I think, nope, I got to do this one like this, right? And now, yep, now I've hit the same button. I got co-pilot and captain views bound. All right. Funny how I was just literally using your voice in Beyond ATC, and now you show up on my YouTube feed. Chris, what's up, man? Good to see you, man. Well, I feel honored. Feel honored. So first thing we're going to do here when we get up to the aircraft is I'm actually going to do the PMDG menu and reconfigure the ground ops. Give me a second. So we're going to switch this to jet bridge, and we're going to request it. Will she come over? Yes, she will. This is a 2020 scenery, I believe, that received a free update for compatibility. Simulation Extrema is what I'm using here at SAVC Airport. Ground power will use external pit power, and I'm going to request that just so we have it once it's all hooked up. It's on arrival hold. All right, good. So get down here to the airplane. We're going to start our flows back here. We're going to check for emergency equipment, circuit breakers, check all of our documents, all of our good stuff. We'll hang our coat hanger here in the coat closet, stow the luggage works. Well, I don't know if you could stow a luggage works in there. That one looks pretty tight. You got this extra little panel there. That looks good. Everything looks good. And then we will begin the power-up process because this airplane is not on any power, so our flow kind of takes a halt. We got to do the power-up process. We'll go battery switch. Standby power is closed. Read all about and studied about this today. This panel over here, standby hydraulic situation. But yeah, we are just verifying that there's no electric hydraulic going to be applied during the ground power connection. So that is closed. Electric hydraulic lights are out. Verify we have 3 green lights, which we do, and ground power connected. Stick shakers do their stick shaker thing. Your bag is going to be in the forward closet. Oh yeah, yeah, I did hear that. Which, fine by me. I need a new one. I've had my same bag for, let's see, I bought it in 2012, my current airline bag that I have. And I know they offer full, like, you could send it in and they refurbish it, but I want to keep it for sentimental value. So I'm going to just buy a new one. And keep it because it's been through a lot, man. It's been through a lot. She's well worn, and I think it'd be fun for, I don't know, maybe my son or something when they grow older. Maybe they have interest in it. So I will be picking up a new bag at the schoolhouse with my $25 discount. All right, aircraft's going to power up. We're going to go ahead and continue with our origination flow, which we're going to take across the top of the panel here. We'll flip these into nav. We'll go ahead, service interphone is off, dome light is off, 3 green, passenger oxygen, or excuse me, crew oxygen. I wonder if this will eventually bleed down. But we're sitting at over 1600 psi. Normal. We'll make sure that is closed. They do not drop the mask, by the way. I try to drop the mask before the stream on this, but that's the passenger oxygen mask. Radio panel as necessary. Flight recorder is off, illuminated. Mach airspeed 1. Mach airspeed 2. Stall warning test 1. Stall warning test 2. Beautiful. And then we're going to go ahead and do our traditional overhead flow here. We're going to make sure all of our standby hydraulic flight controls, or flight control panel and standby hydraulics, which is not the blue system. We just call it standby hydraulics in the 737. Everything's closed and guarded. Yaw damp can come on. We'll extinguish the yaw damp light. Navigation switches are all in the normal position. Let's see. Yep, normal. Spar valves. We're going to take a look at this at engine start today. So right now they are blue dim, which means that they are closed, I believe. And then it's going to be high intensity and transition. And then they're going to go out when they're fully open and running. So we're going to take a look. At engine start, these should disappear. They should go bright, and then they should disappear, according to my fuel system CBT that I was looking at today. So we're going to keep an eye on those. Fuel temp, which, interestingly enough, minus 43C is the limitation, and there is no indication that you have cold fuel or anything like that. So it's something you just have to kind of monitor. Although, you know, as long as I've been flying, I don't really think I've had any issues with the fuels getting too cold. Engineers have done a pretty good job of keeping the fuel at a nominal temperature with the fuel heat exchangers, etc. So coming down the second panel here, everything is good. We're on ground power, in-flight and cabin utilities are on. IDG is closed, drive illuminated. Ground power is on, bus, APU is off. All the lighting panel is normal. We'll arm the emergency exit lights, keep the seatbelt signs off for now. Going up here to the windshield heat, we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4 on. Probes are in auto. Anti-ice is off. Electric hydraulics are off. We'll do an expanded flow check here. We'll go systems page, 92% of the beautiful. Go back to the engine page. Remember, we're looking for the RF flag there for refill, which is not illuminated, so we're good there. 5 seconds. Green light. Beautiful. 0-0 passenger supply duct. I did research. I did study this whole situation. I might mess with this in flight today. We'll keep you on CONT because this is forward nav cabin and CONT. I don't know. CONT is like cockpit. Why is it CONT again? I forget what CONT stands for. But similar layout to the Airbus, where Pack 1 is running to the cockpit and Pack 2 runs A and B, but they go through the mixing unit, and then Pack A air after it's through the cockpit it's also filtered to the mixing unit. So very similar to the Airbus. Turk, what's up, man? All PC is all good so far. That's awesome, man. Good to hear it. Get it booted up, man. Do a flight. Too bad you hosed Fly Navy on that without the bracket. I can't believe that. We'll have to talk about that in cruise. Let's see. Auto packs are off. That's all normal. We're going up to flight level 370 today. We'll set that up here. We're in auto. That's in normal position. We'll get the logo light. We don't need the logo light on right now. I guess we'll leave it off. Actually, I think it's supposed to be on. So logo light is on. Position lights are steady. That looks good. Coming across the panel here, we're going to go ahead and get our Magic Barrel ref set. Pull up our minimums. We'll set you to 300. Which is going to be about, actually no, we're going to set you to about 400, 200 feet above. Right there, 390 feet, that's fine. We'll get the terrain mode on. We'll get flight director. Oh no, I don't have any, chat. What's going on with my SimMap Pro? I've got no juice. We've got no juice, hold on. Let me restart SimMap Pro. We can't fly without SimMap Pro. It was working just fine. Let me get her booted up here. Continuous? Maybe? Maybe it's continuous? No. Oh. We're back. We're all live. She's live. I think. Flight director, auto throttle. Yep, coming across the panel. Flight director, auto throttle is set. We'll get flight director 2 on as well. Terrain mode on my side, but we'll leave it off for right now. Nose wheel steering switch is guarded. These all look good. Test our lights, all amber, 2 reds, 1 amber, tapes and 8s. Everything looks good. We'll leave you in bright position. Fuel rate, we're going to go reset back to rate. That looks good. RTO is selected. Everything looks good on the first officer side. Windshield heat, foot air. These are all in the normal position. Looking good. We'll throw you on FMC, and I'll throw you on FMC as well. Park brake is set. Fire test. Fault, APU detection and op. Now this is cool. You can just click it, and you can see that we get the... hold on, let me do it again. Reset. Now let's do this. Let's go... there we go. Overheat detection light, master caution. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3. That looks good. We got 3. Go back to number 2. There it is. 3. Looking good. Radio will get you turned on and down because you're super loud. Fire test here in the center pedestal for the cargo. Forward aft, that checks. HUD as required, and we'll squawk 2000 since we're looking at it. Stab trim override is guarded. Flight deck door in op on the PMDG. We're going to leave that as is. Okay, origination flow is completed, chat. Let's go ahead and get an ATIS. And while we listen to ATIS, I'm going to set up... ooh, there is no ATIS. I guess we just tune tower. Alright. We'll get a data from SimBrief. I don't know what you call the tower. Tower Argentina 357's clearance to Ushuaia, please.
Argentina 357, Commodore Tower, expect runway 07, Quadrant 1, Charlie departure, initial climb to flight level 060. Squawk 5640.
Wow, that guy read that quick. I'm gonna have my auto.
1 Charlie departure, squawk 5640, Argentina 357.
Okay, that was really fast. So
Argentina 357, read back correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
not wasting any time there.
Wilco, Argentina 357.
Turk says when in ASM cabin equals flight deck. Ah, well yeah, I know, yeah. I guess in control cabin that makes sense. Okay, control cabin. All right, 56. What, I squawk it wrong? 5640. 5640 in the squawk code. We got a couple other things to set up here as well. Sim73 pilot. What's up, man? Good to see you, man. Let's go ahead and bring out the McDo cam F12. Yes, indeed, do. And I'm going to put the camera here. We're going to go ahead and do some programming. Pause and lit. We're going to take page GPS left here. All right, routes. Flight plan request. That's of Savsi to Sawe. And we're going to select the route. And I'm going to let it do its thing. I'm going to require nav perf because we're not fully aligned. That's fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to load it via the McDo. I'm going to load the fuel and weight from the EFB for simulation purposes. So we're going to load this. Route uplink loading. 1960s terms for a 1960s bird, indeed. Alright, there is our flight plan loading. There it is. Activate, execute. Wonderful. Alright, let's go ahead and go to departure arrival. He said expect runway 07 on the Boduck 1 Charlie, execute. Go back to the route page. All the way down, that looks good. So departure arrivals, Ushuaia arrival. We want the ILS 25 and I'll go Maybach transition and Dablo 1 Quebec. Execute, route page, and then let's step through this. Let's put you in plan mode. Zoom it in. I'm going to come down here so you can see a little bit better. And legs page, here we go. Manual, Bodon, SJU, SASTA. Maybach transition, perfect for the ILS 25. That looks absolutely wonderful. All right, back to the init ref. We'll leave you there, and we're going to just simulate that we're going to get boarding going. So let's go to weight and balance. Load plane from SimBrief. So now we'll have our fuel. We'll say, hey, fueling is complete. So fueling is complete. We're going to get our fuel tank pumps on. We're going to get the APU cooking. We're going to get the seatbelt sign on. We're going to take a listen outside. PMDG will have my money as soon as it's released on Thursday. Excellent, man. You're going to enjoy it, man. They got good coffee in Argentina? Yes, indeed. Is this ATC in Argentina or New York approach during rush hour? That's what it sounded like, man. He was Russian. So now we have V1 and 320 sim pilot both flying the Boeings. End of the world as we know it. It's coming, Dougal. It's coming, man. Did SimMap Pro already release an update? Yes. Dutch Flight Sim Pilot 747. There was an update to SimMap Pro last week. And there was also an update. I updated both at the same time. So I don't know who did what, but I can tell you that both the EFIS and FCU are working, or excuse me, the EFIS, or no, FMC and MCP are working without any additional stuff, man. So it's pretty nice. We're going to set our course line since we're talking about it. 070 runway heading. We're going to set via our jet charts, but I'm going to put 070 in there right now as a reference. He didn't give us, we got to give a climb via. So let's go back into the airplane here. And start the chrono. We got to get 3 minutes before we can get the bleed running. But let's take a look at that departure chart. Alright, boat on 1. Charlie, well that's the Quebec, boat on 1. Oh, those are stars, that's why. Helps if we click the right button. There we go. Charlie's at or above 6. Doesn't really say what altitude to climb to. So we'll just leave it as 10 for now. And let's take a look at the runway heading. 070, 074 is what we want. 074, 074, runway heading 074. And we'll just set our cruise altitude 370. Because there's nothing on the star, so, or SID. 37 is set, 074. All right. So we're sitting here, we're like, hey, fueling is completed. Let's run the B4 start checklist. Parking brake. Did I ever set it? Yeah, parking brake is set. Oxygen, we did not check. Gosh dang it. Do that one, do this one, and then do 100%. Emergency on, check. All right, oxygen, check. Navigation, transfer, and display switches are normal and auto. Window heat, that is on. Pressurization, auto and set. Landing elevation is sea level, so 0 is fine. Terrain display is selected. MCP is set. We're waiting on our V2 speed, so we can do LNAV. We're not going to be, we can't do VNAV, so let's actually do that real quick. Let's do this real quick. Hold it. We should we'll come back to the checklist. We'll run that again. Cancel the checklist. Let's actually run, take a look at our flight plan fuel here. Reserve fuel is going to be 2.2 plus 4 is 2.6. Cost index is 60. Cruise flight level 370. Execute. Cruise wind will be data linked. N1 limit. No derate. TO 26K thrust. Takeoff. Flaps 5. Everything here is based on flaps 5. Alright, so we will set flaps 5. No descent path after Dobley, we'll take care of that. 22.5 trim 4.9. 33, 35, 46. We'll set 146 in the speed window. Alright. Now let's go ahead and run before start checklist, please. Parking brake set, oxygen check, navigation, transfer and display switches, normal and auto. Window heat is on. Pressurization, auto and set. Train display selected. MCP set. Displays checked. Auto brake, RTO. Where are we at? I lost myself. Oh yeah. Fuel quantity and distribution. We have 18,900 pounds and checked, and we actually have that, so you don't get an imbalance. Engine start levers cut off. Transponder, TARA. Aileron and rudder trim 00. Departure briefing completed. Fasten seatbelts on. APU. Oh, Captain forgot his flow. That's a Captain thing. It's not me. It's not my fault. Captain's supposed to do that. It's on buses. Fuel panel is set. Flight forms AML on board accepted. Aircraft is Charlie Victor Charlie, or no, Golf Victor Charlie. PEDs off. Before start checklist to the line. Alright, now that we're done with all that, let's go full screen cam here, and then the first officer flow is we're going to come up here. We're getting ready for a pushback and start, so we'll simulate the doors are closed and all that good stuff. So we're going to go probe heat, hydraulics, double check, system, juiced, back to engine, bleed panel for start, auto, open, off, APU bleed on, and anti-collision light on, doors and windows closed and locked, and anti-collision light is on. Why did we get a dual bleed light? That's okay. Alright, let's go ahead and call for push. Let's go ahead and close up shop. So we're going to go ahead and release the ground power. Release the jet bridge. I just called it back. Dang it. Sorry. Release that. Remove chocks. Ground ops. Doors. Close all. Which they are all. I opened it up. Alright, everything is closed. And armed. Beautiful.
Argentina 357, gate 1, request pushback.
Argentina 357, Commodore Tower, pushback approved. Face north.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face
Commodore
north,
Tower,
Argentina
that's what we call it.
357.
Captain was late to the plane because he was getting the girl in the polka dot address number. Exactly, John, exactly. Alright, seems like most of the 7.3s I see have the Honeywell MCP. It would be cool to see when we make one of those. Ooh, that would be cool, have a Honeywell MCP. Yeah, that would be pretty cool too. Alright, so we are ready for push back. Let's go brakes, release, Alt-P. Standing by for push. Glad to see you at home, V1. Greetings from Mendoza. Hey, what's up, man? V1, you streaming the 731 X-Plane Tank stream. I have a couple sceneries to give you a free copy. Ooh, Captain Lee. You know, I haven't in a minute, but I wouldn't mind getting back and doing a little testing in X-Plane 12 again, since we know a little bit more about the 7.3. Do a little comparison. I know we all love doing comparison streams around here. Gets everybody fired up. Brings out the best in the community, you know. No pitchforks or anything like that. Nice little scenery, though. I think I'll just stop the push right. Oh, well, where's he going to push us to? Yeah, I'm just going to stop it right here so we can go. We can get out from here. Cockpit around, push complete, set brakes. Brakes set, clear disconnect, start engine 2. So, engine start flow for moi is verify bleed pressure, which is going to be demand, so grounding. And we're going to do this one from inside here. Remember, we're going to look at the, as soon as I get N1, we're going to try to flick the overhead here. Take a look at the overhead for start. There's N1 rotation. So we should see fuel on. Their spar valves illuminate bright, and then they should. Beautiful. Look at that. That's cool. That's really cool. So there's two additional valves. You got the spar valve and what was the other one called? The diagram, they're pretty much right here. Well, that's kind of the last two valves going into the engine. Alright, so we got a good start on engine 2. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a cinematic start for engine 1. So I'm going to go back to external. I don't know, I love... my camera's way too fast. Hold on. There we go. Alright. Now we've got the view set. Let's go ahead and ground one, please. Look at the reversal of the N1 fan. Did you see that? That's because wind is blowing up the tailpipe. We actually had negative N1 there. Very cool. That was really cool. N1 rotation, fuel on. Light off. What's your opinion on how the FMC buttons feel? For $150, they're 100% worth it, man. Compared to the real Airbus McDo, the Airbus McDo is real hard, plastic feeling, like the real aircraft. I don't know what the Boeing is. I'm assuming it's very similar. It's getting loud. We'll monitor the start. So like the actual buttons are way softer on the wind wing than the real buttons were. However, for 100 and whatever it is, it's a crazy price, man. It's 100% worth it, dude. 100% worth it. I love having the FMCs from wind wing. Love them. All right, we got two good starts. So El Capitan is going to do this thing. He's going to do gen, and then he's going to do this, and then I'm going to come over here. And we've got two good engine starts, so we're going to go ahead and set trim 4.95. We're going to set flaps 5, and we're going to go up to the overhead. Actually, no, we're not going to go up to the overhead. We're going to set flaps 5. We're going to verify our speeds. We got 46,370 is set. Then we're going to go up to the overhead, and we're going to make sure we're auto off. Why aren't we getting any flat movement here? 125. There they go. Maybe I didn't notice that movement. Do you plan on flying the iFly Max? Yes, I do. I actually want to hop into the Max maybe this week because I have a whole lot of differences training that I'm doing alongside when I'm studying for the NG. That looks more than flaps 5. We're going to have to double check our situation. That's way more than flaps 5, I think. Yeah. What did we set? We just set 25. So 10, go back to 15, 5. Set flaps 5. But yeah, I do want to do some max flying. Alright, flaps 5, green lights. Alright, let's do an after start checklist, please. After start checklist, anti-ice, as required, generators on. Flaps set, flight controls, follow me. Free and correct. No, they don't say that. Flight controls checked, recall. Beautiful. Let's call for taxi.
Argentina 357, request taxi to the active.
Argentina 357, runway 07, taxi via Charlie Alpha.
Runway 07 taxi via Charlie Alpha, Argentina 357.
Brakes released, taxi lights coming on. Let's roll. Oh, I forgot takeoff config switch if installed, which we do not have, so. Alright, cams are up. Captain Lee, I will try to take a look at that, man. Thank you, appreciate you, dude. I will take a look and we might have to do a little dabbling in the old X-plane. See, now that I'm getting more familiar with the 7.3s, I want to like start flying all the different 7.3s that are available to see differences. The Wing MCP shows its value when you're descending through high turb and G camera shakes too much to turn it off. Really, simp out. That's pretty cool. Beef Jesus, according to our books, it is, and it's back here. But if not, you could just do... Oh, why do we have a takeoff config? Oh, spoilers are armed. There we go. Oh, I wanted to test the actual takeoff config with the thrust levers. So let's let the N1 spool down, and let's do a takeoff config check with the thrust levers. I think I was supposed to take Charlie to Alpha. That's okay, we'll take a Bravo. There we go, cool takeoff config check. You know, I haven't even looked at my flow cheat sheet yet, but now I think I need to. I've got pretty much everything until taxi. And then we get to like before takeoff and takeoff where I need more practice. So we'll get straight here, then I'll take a look at my cheat sheet. Just got the AB9, been using your profile. Appreciate you sharing it. Feels great in the Phoenix. Demolisher, that's awesome, man. Glad you enjoy it. We're gonna get back in the bus here this week too. We'll do a little Moza flying. The windows look good, Apollo? Yeah, they do look good, man. Alright, I'm gonna take a quick look at my cheat sheet here while we taxi out. So we did everything. I don't think I missed... the only thing I missed, I keep missing, is the oxygen. And I'm gonna have to look in the expanded flow where I test the oxygen because I keep forgetting that one. Alright. We did the before takeoff, right? We did, yep, stab trim, flaps, data and bugs, air conditioning and bleeds, all that. Alright. Before taking the runway, there's really no flow. I know you can't really hear my voice. I'm looking to fix something out of camera. Basically, when we take the runway, first officer does wing lights and the position lights to strobe and steady. The captain will chime and turn on the runway turn-on lights. When we take the runway, the captain will turn all the lights on. After takeoff flow, we already know that. That's going to be flaps up, gear, auto brake, air conditioning, bleeds, pressure, anti-ice as required, APU as required. It's a silent generator. So there really is there's no taxi flow, which I guess there is, but we did it before rolling. So I say we're looking pretty good on our flows. We're going to do the after landings and shutdown. Maybe we'll try to work through that today at Ushuaia. Alright. I'm back at it. We're S-turning all around the taxiway here. Has the auto panel been secured with the elastic bands? Yeah, the little IC switch here, intercom. I know, yeah, right here. With the stir sticks. Paxman, yeah, I want to get in the jet, man. I do. I want to get in it. I want to give it a... It's weird. So, like, I want to get in it and fly it, but I also know what the reality of that is as far as commuting and being gone brings. So, it's a little, I don't know. It's hard to say. Hold on, I'm going to text my wife back. Our little puppy keeps escaping because she's small enough to fit through the holes in the fence that I'm going to have to run chicken wire now. So I had hog wire on the fence for our adult beagles, and they of course couldn't fit through it, but now she can fit through it, so she's escaping. All right, let's call for takeoff. I almost just took the runway.
Argentina 357 holding short, runway 07.
Argentina 357, Commodoro Tower, wind 095 at 11, runway 07, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 07 cleared for takeoff, Argentina 357.
All right, let me check the SID real quick. It's good to do it after you get your takeoff clearance. All right, climbing right turn. Let's go. So, you know, first officer is going to do this thing, and this thing. Captain's going to do this thing, and then this thing. All right, let's go. Did I turn that off, or is that on? It's on. All right, here we go. Let's go fly. I love the wing flex now. It's so good, man. I'm team check departure frequency on chart at 300 AGL. Yeah. Yeah, what was the departure freak? I know, dude. Yeah. I guess I could say I was a bad captain because every time that I was pilot monitoring, I'd say 9 times out of 10, if the FO didn't put the departure frequency in the standby freak, I was always looking it up. I got so accustomed to really good FOs putting it in there that when one guy forgot, and it wasn't like a requirement of the flow, it was just, you know, check departure frequency, I would always forget. Or like team departing Cancun, like, yeah, contact departure, and you're like, man, I'm almost at the at that first fix at 2,000 feet or whatever it is. Like, why hasn't anybody talked to me? Like, oh shoot, I was supposed to call Cancun. Oops. All right, runway 07, that was an absolutely terrible lineup, but guess what? That's not my job anymore. So let's go ahead, a little enough forward pressure, spool them up. Get some yogas in chat. We got 400 people here. Hit that like button. Yogas in chat. Take a listen. Sounds coming up for the Toga. Ship out there. Oh, under rotated. I think 20 degrees max. There's much acceleration.
Argentina 357, contact Commodoro Rivadavia radar 125 down, fire.
Yeah.
Argentina 357, Commodoro Rivadavia radar. Good afternoon, radar contact. Climb to flight level 180.
Climb to flight level 180, Argentina 357.
Flaps up after takeoff checklist, please. All right, flaps up. Gear off. Packs, auto, pressurization, anti-ice, APOs required. After takeoff checklist complete, say that silently. Actually say that out loud. Now we can focus on flying the SID. My goodness, I love hand flying this airplane. Did I say that already? It hand flies. I mean, it probably hand flies better than the real thing. I don't know. It just feels that way. We're already through transition, man. XP in the house, my man. How you doing, XP? Speeding. Speeding. XP, I'm going to be in your neck of the woods a whole lot more this year. We're going to have to get together, man. Let's get together a couple times. I got to come over, set up your Moza yoke, man. I'll dial in your 737 profile on XP system. That way he can share the profile. I would be lying if I didn't say that flying PMDG doesn't get me excited to go fly the real bird. Like, I get more. Somebody asked if I'm excited to go fly the real thing. Of course I am. But I also know that means, you know, I'm getting accustomed to being home. I'm off until the 10th, right? So it means being away from home, all that stuff. Which that's just part of the job. That's being an airline pilot. But I'll tell you what, flying this airplane right here, I'm excited. I want to go fly. I really want to go fly. Look at the wing, looks really good right now too. Just the light on the wing. All right, so we're climbing up to flight level 180. Fuel. Oh, so this is a fun thing I learned. If you have a flickering low pressure light, if it continues for 5 minutes, then the master caution will illuminate. So if you, I've realized, well, I've noticed a couple times up here, like when it's getting low, you'll see the low pressure light flicker come on and off. If that happens for 5 minutes, it will illuminate the master caution, give it the low pressure. You can always try to drop as much flying as possible, sit out of base makeup, little cheat code. Yeah, Turk, I plan to do that if I get so blessed to have a line next year. We'll see. I'm really curious where the next, when that vacancy bid publishes. You know, I don't think I'll get, obviously, what I want, but I want to know, I just want to see how many people it moves, because I've never seen a vacancy bid, you know, take place with that many fleet types, right? So I'm curious to see what it actually, what happens numbers-wise with the different bases. Hopefully the one after that, we'll see. Oh, Turks, did you see if you go to LAX 320 Captain, there's a, it's got to be an improper award, right? Because it looks like somebody got a direct entry captain slot. We were talking about it on our group chat, and I'm like, that's got to be an error. But if you go to the expanded 3XP and look at LAX 320 Captain, tell me what you think. It's funny, man. Will you have to learn to trim straight and level? I will, 100%, Scotty, too. I got to learn to trim the airplane again. Oh, you hear me clicking, moving switches. But that's why I really like having force feedback for this, because it's kind of refreshing my skill set, right? You know, I learned, obviously, to pitch, power, trim. But for the last 10 years, I haven't trimmed an airplane other than on the ground or rudder trim for engine out scenarios. But being able to kind of polish up the skill. Now, the Brunner is not 100% one-to-one, but it's very close. And in terms of practicality, you know, put the airplane where you want it to, trim it out, it works very well. So I'm hoping it will aid in my polishing of the hand flying skills. If you want to have a question regarding your job, wouldn't it be smarter than you to hire you as a captain? No, not how it works in the U.S., my man. Not how it works.
Argentina 357, climb to flight level 370.
Climb to flight level 370, Argentina 357.
Command A is on, 370 is set. Up we go. I guess I can move these down so you can see them. After takeoff checklist, actually should let me just run it manually in my head. So in my head, I have to say flaps up, no lights, gear off or up, depending if it's a max or not. How to break off, air conditioning, please. Anti-safety, takeoff checks complete. My lights are still on. Yes, they are, because that's our operator's SOP. Turn it down a little bit more. Is it still out? Oh, you know, no, I could turn on the ANR. Whoa. That sounds like That sounds too much like I have my headset on. I gotta turn on. I can hear myself breathing. Let me just turn down my master volume. All right, there's 18,000 feet. Let's go ahead and get the fixed lights off. Off. Everything looks good. We get the wing light off. All right. Pressurization is doing pressurization things. We're cooking. We are cooking with gas. Instant ear infection. That's got to be a data entry error. Yeah. Yeah, Turks, that's what I thought, right? I was like, okay, good. I was like, man, did I miss something? Like, how did what did I miss? Will you have to learn? Oh, I already read that. Somebody still shows Super 80 on the bid. Yeah. One of the guys in Indox said that it was a guy on medical leave. So the last thing he did, he was on the Super 80, and then he's been out. I think he just went on long-term disability. So technically, he's still on the list. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It still shows there's a Super 80 pilot on there. V1 IRL, what can you hear from the cockpit? Cabin, engines, patch, flash. Okay, so Aaron Murray, I'm going to tell you specifically what you hear from the Airbus, since that's what I flew for the last 10 years. Without a noise-canceling headset on, you can hear the thuds of the galley carts hitting the wall behind you here. You can hear the lavatory door close sometimes, depending if they slam it or not. And depending on the PA volume, you may or may not hear just a tiny bit of PA from the back. Other than that, all you're going to hear is wind noise up front. You do not hear flaps. You do not hear gear in terms of anything other than the wind noise, the added drag. You'll actually hear the like the sound. You'll hear the thud. The gear goes down. I mean, what the Fenix does. What you hear in the Fenix is what you hear in an Airbus without a noise-canceling headset on. Now, you turn on a noise-canceling headset, you're not going to hear hardly anything but the radio and a little bit of wind noise. And I use the Bose ProFlight headset, and I got to a point where I stopped turning on my noise-canceling on the ground because I felt that I was losing situational awareness because I could not hear anything. I could not hear the engines. I could not hear certain switches. I could not hear, I imagine a circuit breaker pop. So no noise. So I stopped turning. I would just have it in pass-through mode on the ground, and then at 10,000 feet is when I would turn on my noise canceling to low, and then at 18,000 feet, depending if it was a CEO or a Neo, I would turn it up to medium, maybe. But most of the time I just kept it in low. Same thing on approach and landing. At 10,000 feet at 250 knots, I would always turn my noise canceling off because I wanted to hear the engines. On approach, I feel like when you hear, especially if you're doing manual thrust approaches, but even more so with the auto thrust on in the Airbus, the auto throttles aren't moving. So if you can't hear the thrust change, you're looking outside at visual references, you kind of lose that additional piece of information of what is your airplane doing. So for instance, if I'm on approach and I can hear, I'm looking at the runway, say I'm battling a crosswind, I'm focused on the runway, my touchdown point, etc., inside, outside, and I can hear the thrust starting to spool up, I know what's coming, right? I know the airplane's going to want to start to pitch up just ever so slightly. I know I'm going to get some energy, or vice versa. I can hear the engine spool down. Now I know, okay, I'm going to have a little bit less power. What's the airplane going to do? If you have noise canceling on, you can't hear any of that in the Airbus, unless you're in a 319. 319, you can hear mostly the engines all the time. But in a Neo, forget it, man. Forget it. 321 Neo is dead silent. Dead silent. So that's just my little spiel of noise canceling. And some of our airplanes, they didn't even run the alerts, so the rad outs would not go through the headset. So if you had noise canceling on, you wouldn't hear, you could hear, but you would hear a very muffled instead of 500, right? So now I don't know if that was an operator option or what, but I was surprised to learn that not all oral alerts in the Airbus did not come through the headset. On the newer airplanes they did, but on the older classics they did not. Same with TCAS. You'll be using noise canceling on the Guppy, especially the older ones. It's ever. All right, well, I've got it ready to go, man. I've got them ready to go. Beautiful departure here. Do you hear the APU from the front galley? No. Unless you're in a 319 and the door's open. If the door's open, you can hear it. The 7.3 doesn't have XLR plug. Correct. It's just the GA plug, as far as I'm aware. Excited for your new adventure on the 737. Christopher said, thank you so much, man, for the 28 months of support, man. Appreciate you. I'm excited, too. I'm excited that y'all are so excited to go along with me on this journey as we progress through our systems understanding and flow procedures. Are these all oil wells out here? Is this oil, Derek? What is all this stuff? Where's my resident Argentinians? Where's Gus at? This looks like West Texas. Who's ready for Landman Season 2? Community headset users unite? Oh my gosh. He's a ship headset guy. Can you heal people in the lab? No. You can smell them, though. Do we know the upgrade price? Bobby Rutt. Sorry, I didn't see you over there on the vertical stream. I just had to pull it forward. I got two stream boxes. There's two chat boxes going. I am not aware of a price yet. I am aware of a tentative release date of the 18th. Maybe some of you have better information than I do. I want to buy my old David Clarks in that case. Oh, want to buy my old... Oh, want to buy my... That's the vibe of the 7.3. Nah, man, David, I don't like the over-ear, too much clamp force over time. The Bose ProFlight is the best investment I ever made, man. Just a little, like, really light headset that goes in your ears like what do they call it, earplugs? I mean, the earplugs alone have some noise-canceling properties, right? So... During world flight, I prefer the David Clarks. Oh, man. I can't, Zippy. After about an hour. Too much. Same deal in the Bell Healy world. We use PNR helmets with CP but no ANR. You lose too much SA. You can tell what's going on with sound. Healy gets canceled out of ANR. Yeah. I mean, I believe it, Wavol. For sure. Nabil Hamdoui. This is real life. This is real life. Except our clouds just kind of went to poopy mode there. They look a little bit flat. Let me give you a more realistic view. Ooh, that's real life. There you go, Nabil. Real life. Will you only fly the NGR Max? No, I'll fly both. I'll fly both. We should do some Max. We should do Max this week. Just to see. Maybe one of the PM streams. I'm going to try to do 2 streams. Today is a big... This week is a big study week for me because I want to try to... I don't really want to do too much studying next week for Christmas or like over the Christmas holiday. So I really want to knock out all my required stuff this week, and then I really want to just do practice tests. Like next week I want to be able to just start doing practice tests, not necessarily learning new information. So I'm going to be at the HQ because it's hard to study at home with 4 kids and dogs and puppies and chickens and there's banshees running around. So I'm going to spend a lot of time at the HQ doing my self-study and then doing streams. So I'll break up my self-study with the stream, do a little more self-study, and then do maybe a PM stream. You want all the clamp force you can get? I've had David Clarks for my entire 17 years of flying. Of course, I'm flying 172s, and the longest flight is about an hour and 30 minutes. There you go. I mean, there's nothing wrong with David Clarks, man. There's nothing wrong with them. They're great headsets. I mean, they've been around forever. So I had DCs during my training and all that, and GA, and a little bit of my instructing. But for I think it's actually for my, maybe not instructing. I had it for my instructor training, but once I got my CFI, my mom gifted me my first Bose headset as an instructor, and I never went back, man. So I never looked back. And what really was helpful is when I was flying freight in the 135 world, there were multiple times where I had to call for release or call and open a flight plan or close a flight plan from the hold short line. So that was part of the SOP. It was like you get everything set up, you taxi out to the runway, and then you physically have to call center on your phone. And having the Bluetooth connection and everything, it was completely hands off. I just have the number, boom, call, and I have 100% situational awareness because my hands are completely free. I don't have to change anything. I'm talking through my boom mic to the controller, right? He's like, yeah, if not off the ground by, the whole closeout thing. I've also used it in the bus talking to maintenance. My last big maintenance issue, I say big, was in Las Vegas. We're holding short 2-6 right for departure. Release the brake, thrust up, nothing. Thrust up a little more, nothing. Thrust up a little more, the airplane starts dragging a tire. I'm like, oh great, we got a stuck brake. Recycle the brake, go through our procedures, try it, nothing. Cancel takeoff clearance, get maintenance on the phone. What do we have to do? All from my headset. It's all Bluetooth connected. That's really the only time that is the only time that you can utilize a device for, up front. But that's, you call maintenance, and then I have a direct line right there. Boom. They're talking to me through the headset, and we did some more troubleshooting. They eventually said, all right, we got to come out to the aircraft and check some stuff. So, but that was great. That was a great feature. Because you don't want to hold, like, I even at the gate, like, I always felt weird. Some guys, especially the younger generation, they don't care if passengers see them with their phones out. But, like, for instance, if I'm at the gate and I have to call maintenance, and I don't want to be standing there in the cockpit with my phone in my hand, like on the phone. I feel like that's just a bad look. So if it's through my headset, nobody knows the difference, right? Like when you board the airplane and they can see into the cockpit window, they see you right there. It's like, good afternoon. Other than the obvious switching to the new carrier, how's the aircraft transfer been? Easier than expected? Nothing yet. A tipsy peck. Ask me in another month. So far, it's been smooth, but I've just been studying the easy stuff. The hard stuff starts in about a month. I've used A20's Pro Flights and Clarity Aloft in the past, just can't be bothered to carry it around. Until the QRH is optional. There you go. Sam, what's up, man? A20 gang, because I don't fly the Airbus. There you go. Well, Sam, you're going to need to be Pro Flight gang here as for your welcome gift. Pro Flights, man. I remember as a teen thinking Dave Clarks were legit. Never had a pleasure of using the Bose. They are legit, dude. There's, like I said, there is nothing wrong with Dave Clarks. They are legit. There's just some additional features of the. What are we doing? 8-1 Mach. We're gonna change that. We're struggling to climb here. Give us a little extra juice here to get up to 37. There's just a few extra features of the Pro Flights that I like. But I think you can also get, can't you get like the updated Dave Clarks with the noise canceling, and don't they have Bluetooth maybe? I'm not sure. When I hear Dave Clark, I think of the OG, like the metal boom, you know? Matter of fact, is there an FO up here? Does she have Dave Clark's on? Yeah, see, I'm thinking of the version even older than this, where it has like the two metal bars and it's really wonky. You know, you have to like and sometimes it gets loose and it keeps dropping down. This is even an updated version of the Dave Clark than I think. When I think Dave Clark, I think the OG. So maybe these are more comfortable. I mean, she doesn't seem to mind them. All right, there we go. Leveling off 370. Well, Mickey G, what's up, my man? I'm a Bose guy now, too, but I still have my dad's DCs from the 1970s. Still work great. They're my passenger headsets. There you go. Awesome, man. Yeah, that's great. Throw them in the back for passengers. Absolutely. You flew in a 319 yesterday with an INOP AFLAB? Nice, Tyson. Wow, look at that ground textures look great from right here. Hopefully it was a short flight, Tyson. Will you change your profile pic to 737? You mean in Discord? I don't know. We might have to make an update. I remember being at the FBO and see people with green Dave Clarks. I think that's a real pilot. It's funny, man. I thought the same thing. Exact same thing, dude. When you see those Dave Clarks, you just do, oh, that's real pilot stuff right there. He's got his own headset. Guy's legit. That guy is legit. 2 hours Phoenix to Mazatlan. Really? Man. Hope everything went well. We'll get the seatbelt sign off. You're now free to move about the cabin. Speaking of cabin. Alright. Forward cabin. Aft cabin. I want to manually see if I can cool the aft cabin. Now this is the pack temp, so left pack, right pack. This is the primary cockpit pack, that is the cabin pack. Supply duct pressure, so forward cabin is running 80 out of the supply duct. Aft is indeed running cooler air. This is the actual temps in said cabin. You can see it is starting to come down a little bit, so we're asking one pack to split from the manifold. Very cool. Keep an eye on that. We'll come back and check it. 8-1 Mach here in cruise is going to be a little bit aggressive. Let's knock this back to 7-9. Let's go ahead and bring you back. 7-9 Mach. I guess we'll bring out the full screen cam. Actually, what is my... I gotta see what the camera looks like. Yeah, it's semi-readable. So it is the hardest camera. It's kind of our cruise cam. Let's go outside. Reset this. Oh yeah. Sounds are coming down. We'll get all cozy here. What do Argentinians listen to? Christmas jazz? I think they listen to Christmas jazz. 'Tis the season. We're going all in on Christmas season this year because just knowing that I have it off so far out it's been awesome, man. Been awesome. All right. Sit back, relax, enjoy the flight. Let me take a look at the flight tracker up here. Beautiful. All right. So, Sim Update 4. Yay, nay. What do you guys think of Sim Update 4 lately? I've been gone for 10 days, so what did I miss? Oh, we have to talk about... some of you being naughty this year for Christmas. I saw the dramas this weekend. Some of you being naughty with PMDG. I think that is the biggest win for Team PMDG, locking all you pirates out. Oh man, I actually had to join a Discord to watch the meltdowns in real time. Mickey G says, I think you may have talked to a guy that's in my squadron at the schoolhouse. Also a 7-3 guy. I mentioned you and he said he talked to someone with the exact same background who did what? May have talked to a guy that's in my squadron at the schoolhouse. Yes. Wait, is he in oh no, that was, I'm trying to think. I mean, yeah, maybe. Nabil says, I know someone who got booted. Nice. He's out of DC. Yes. Mickey G. I think I sat next to him in Indoc. I'm pretty sure I sat next to him. What did he say? Good things about me? Bad things about me? What did he say? Curious now. On a 3:30 years ago, I asked one of the cabin crew to ask the pilots to do this with the packs. It was hot though. Dude, Dale, when I flew to San Jose with the family last 2 months ago, I thought I thought I was gonna have a heat stroke in the back of a 7.3 NG. My poor wife, dude, she's sitting with the infant who had a blowout, right? So first off, it wasn't even that hot outside. It was like 75 degrees on the ramp. We get on the 7.3 and it must be 85 degrees in the cabin. And it stayed that way. We taxied out single engine. We sat there waiting for a taxi. I thought it was 90 plus in the cabin. My infant had a blowout and screaming, so we're all sweating. The infant has a blowout. She's trying to hold him. It's going through his onesie, and the airplane just stayed like 90 degrees. Even when we landed, like, it never cooled down. I don't know if they were single pack op or what, but miserable environmental condition on that flight. Miserable. Yeah, Turks. I think half of our class, literally half of our class was X-Spirit guys. Half of our class, man. 29? Yeah. You should have asked them how many peaks we get on startup. Mickey G, you know it's only one peak. A plateau is not a peak. In order for it to be a peak, it has to fall back down. If it doesn't fall back down, that is not a peak. That is called a plateau. Sim Update 4 is yay. Menu is much more responsive. Yes. How is the Huey? I gotta try it. Yeah, Sam. The attrition chart. Pretty wild, huh? I think there's 100 plus in December already. Well, as of a week ago, there was already 100 plus in December. He won the geologist. Mr. G, they actually secured half that, 50 mil. I don't know what's going to happen over there. I still think an acquisition is on the table. They were supposed to get 100 mil. They got 50 mil. All those shutdown articles that you see, those are all just hit pieces put out by competitors and Scott Kirby mostly. They're just hit pieces. The word internally is it's not a good situation. It's a possible outcome, but the fact that they got half the 100 mil means that the creditors are probably like, well, we're going to give you half now. Figure it out. If they wanted out, that was their time to get out. But I don't know. I still think an acquisition is likely. Or standalone. I mean, they really are trying to restructure to a standalone. I mean, if you think they're going to be down to 105 airframes from almost 300. So that's a lot. Yeah, it's a big change in what the airline was. And I've said this many times before. In the airline world, in the United States, you can make money when you're small if you do it right. You get to a certain size, which I firmly believe is right around that 110, 125 airplanes, where it starts to trend down. It starts to cost more to operate than what you can bring in by just flying people. If you don't have a cargo operation, if you don't have credit card revenue, loyalty stuff, you're not going to continue to operate. So I think you just get too big, and because no airline in the United States makes money flying just passengers. That may be a shock to you, but take the most profitable airline, Delta, in the United States. Without an Amex check of like 14 bill, they'd be a bill in the hole. They'd be in the red by $1 billion if they did not get the credit card check. So you think everything that Delta is, they are losing $1 billion a year in flying people. Where do they make money? Credit cards. 2% GDP, North American GDP, goes to the Delta branded Amex. So if you have an American Express Delta branded Amex and you go buy something that you can't afford, you start paying interest on that. That interest that you're paying is funding the top tier, funding the loyalty customers of Delta, funding the executive clubs. That's how it works. It's crazy. It's crazy. And all the major carriers work that way. They get a ton of money from credit cards and outside sources versus just flying people around. The Huey, yeah, the Tayog. I have the Tayog Huey, man. I have it. I enjoyed it in 2020. We flew it a couple times with the Moza AB9. How are Southwest doing? They're in trouble too, man. They're doing some massive restructuring, right? But the problem with Southwest, or a large problem, was Boeing really hosed them. When you dedicate your fleet to a 737 and then the new 73s, the Maxes that are supposed to come out, get delayed and get grounded, that's going to cause problems, right? So not saying that that's the only problem Southwest has, but that did not help their current situation. And they're doing a whole rebranding as well. They're talking about having a first class cabin. They've already done away with free bags and unassigned seats. So it's just changing. It's just changing, man. Little known fact, Aerolíneas Argentinas means Argentine Airlines in English. Wait, what? Aerolíneas Argentinas means Argentine Airlines in English. De nada. Thank you, Classic Jet Sim. Kept Chubbs, man. Can't fault them, just how the airline game is played. Oh, for sure, man. No, that's 100% what it is. It's just what the airline game is, man. It's just how it works out here. Southwest is just starting their transformation. I think next year will bring even bigger changes. Yeah. So there was actually a Southwest pilot in my in-dock class for my new operator, which is kind of a rare thing to think about, but I've heard of this happening. But normally you go to Southwest and that's either where you've always wanted to be, or you had apps out everywhere. They're the first one to call. You get a seniority number. And he had been at Southwest for a couple of years. And he's jumping ship because he saw what the changes were going to do to his perspective outlook on what he wanted to do at the company. And he's like, I'm just going to get out now. The industry has changed. It's no longer a competition for the lowest fare. People are willing to pay more for a bit. Yeah, and I think I don't even know if it's so much. Well, it is the industry changing, but I just think it's the generation, right? A generational change of people, right? You think of the baby boomers and the boomers and the older people it's just, now we're getting younger people in who are like, man, I don't care about, I'll pay more for a better experience. Or I think COVID also was a part of this. People got accustomed to certain things. They're like, yeah, I want to pay for that now. Like, I'd rather pay for that than skimp out. And I get it, man. But yeah, I think that's what's kind of leading the industry changing, is the generational change, the YouTube premium generation, right? You'd want to pay to not have ads. You want to pay. Exactly. Crazy fact, Ryanair didn't have to let any pilot go after the whole COVID max period. That's pretty good. How are you liking the pre-release 7.3? Captain Kiptrust, dude, I mean, look, I haven't flown the 7.3 yet, but I've had my training materials and I've been using it allegedly to kind of help me get my flows and stuff down. I love it, man. It's fun. It runs great in 2024. It's very smooth, man. Not that it wasn't smooth in 2020, but it feels more fluid in 2024. And I don't know if that has to do more with the actual flight model changing or it just being native in 2024. But since I've had it, I can't stop flying it, man. I really do enjoy it, truly. I've often thought the LCC model couldn't work long-term. Airplanes are rather expensive. Well, Dale, what really started to be a problem for the LCCs was COVID. So where the low-cost carriers won is they had extremely low costs, right? You sub everything out, subcontractor this, subcontractor that, low fares, and low overhead. What happened was during COVID, the larger carriers realized that if they can create that type of product in their legacy aircraft with their larger network and more frequency, those passengers would rather book on them because it's more convenient. And it's now you get best of both worlds, right? You can have a quarter of your cabin be super LCC fare, but with the frequency of flights that you have, it's still more beneficial to a passenger that, say they want to fly Frontier to San Antonio, flight cancels. Oh, sorry, the next flight isn't until Wednesday, and it's a Monday. Like, well, that's not going to work. Whereas if it's on American, the next flight's in 45 minutes, right? So that kind of accelerated during COVID, and I know United introduced their super low-cost fare, and there were a couple other airlines doing the same thing or something similar, and that's what really started to prick and start to pull away from the LCC model. That kind of accelerated. COVID accelerated that process. And at the same time, going into COVID, the ULCCs were killing it. Spirit alone had some of the best, if not the best, margins, profit margins of all airlines in the United States going into COVID. And they were like, oh, we're going to be the first to profitability. We're going to be the first back. Turns out that wasn't the case because everyone else adapted. Because what were the low-cost carriers doing when they had all these good margins? They were building, they were expanding, they were spending money like these margins were going to continue. So you spend all this money, you go into COVID, the larger carriers realize what you're doing and how they can attack your model and still use their networks and their aircraft. And then you come out of COVID and the low-cost carriers, their margins are in the toilet, their passengers aren't returning, and they just spent all this money. Then you throw in the fact that all your Neos that you ordered are grounded now indefinitely. It's just you can only take so many punches before you go down, and that's kind of where Spirit specifically is. Frontier is kind of flirting with the same idea, but it's just a perfect storm, man. Perfect storm. Miss V1 is in the house. I hope everyone is enjoying the stream. V1 has abandoned his family today. I know I was telling them this earlier. The whole family is sick at home, guys. So shout out to Miss V1 for holding down the fort. I'm like, look, I'm a probie. I cannot get sick. I am going to hide at the HQ all day. I'm going to stream twice a day and study for the rest of the day. All week long because I cannot get sick. I cannot afford to get sick. But she's a champion. Classic Jess Input's good thing that I was just telling him about the very special expensive dinner he's taking you tonight. I know. We do need to go out to dinner. So we haven't gone out to dinner in a long time. I think post-COVID, people really want just to make the most out of, let's say, a trip vacation, so they rather get the best experience out of possible. Something I've noticed in Scandinavian anyways. Dexel, I agree. I think that's accurate as well. I noticed American in particular became cheaper than Southwest in many cases. Yeah, and that's, you have all the fare battles, right? So, some larger carriers were still targeting low cost, and then you had Delta and United who were just betting on premium in the long run, and now everyone else was playing catch-up. That's why you see American now is coming out with the XLRs with all lay flat seats and everything. They're adding first class seats to their wide body fleet. So yeah, they're in the catch up mode for sure. Misty one says I'm ignoring her text. Stand by. I am. Well, I can't tell because Full Flap Sim and Turk are just going nuts on the. I'll have to tell them the PC story. basically somebody bought a $6,000 paperweight. Everyone with kids in DFW is sick, my family included. Russ, not good, man, not good. You're running out of kid shows for our children to watch. I saw that you just got the Christmas or Home Alone again. Coco Melon. No Coco Melon. Paw Patrol is on one TV and Home Alone is on the other. Man, Miss V1 is burning it down. We won't tell Miss V1 that I have a miso latte from Hill's Cafe right now. I gotta hide it. Is my camera still on? Can she see? Oh yeah, she can see. You can't see that. Can't see it. There, no latte. I have no latte. I have nothing. This time for the kids to watch Die Hard. We just watched Chevy Chase Christmas Vacation. What, yesterday? 2 nights ago for the first time. Chevy Chase Christmas Vacation, National Lampoon. It's a must. It's a must watch. My dad made me watch that every Christmas, or at least Christmas season. 3 greens, my man. How's it all going, dude? Thank you so much for the 15. Honestly, appreciate you. Just about to go flying on a long nav. Thought I'd jump in to say good day. Good day, mate. If I don't catch you before the holidays, have a Merry Christmas V1 to you and the fam. I'll see you when I see you. Hey, 3 greens, my man. Well, you take it easy. You fly safe. Keep the blue side up. And we'll see you when you get back, my man. Thank you so much for the support. And just being a member and hanging out and being at the channel, man. Really do appreciate you. Have a wonderful holiday season down under. I'll throw another shrimp on the Barbie this week in your honor. With a Foster's. The 737 hydraulic CPT will keep them occupied. Yeah. I want to see if I can get this puppy picture up here. Hold on. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I was actually kind of liking that song. I think it was this one, wasn't it? Aviation Dude! Thank you for the $10 super chat, and you should surprise the kids with some pizzas. Aviation Dude. I'm going to surprise myself with some pizzas. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. It's crazy, man. My kids are like, sometimes they like pizza, and some nights they just don't like it. They're strange. Like, what kid doesn't like pizza? Thank you so much, man. Appreciate the $10 super chat, Aviation Dude. Are you still out on the East Coast? I think you're on the East Coast, weren't you? Brought your whole sim with you and everything? Let me see if I could find... I'm trying to... Mississippi rearranged our Discord, so I gotta find what I'm looking for. Oh, hold on. Yes, here we go. I accidentally hit the marker button on my iPhone, so she's got a black highlighter mark on her foot, but it's not there real world. I'll show you the new pup. There's Miss Lily. She looks like a Beanie Baby, but that's what I said. That little like black highlighter on her paw there, that's just from my iPhone. I accidentally drew on her. But there she is. She's such a doll face. Isn't she? Miss Lily. And she is the sweetest little snuggler, man. She's already she sleeps like completely like a puppy. Upside down, right in my arm, between my legs. Like she's just a doll face. Sometimes she looks like, I swear she looks like a Beanie Baby. She doesn't even look real. Hard not to fall in love with that. I know, man. Class Traveler, what's going on, man? Freezing in Dallas? Dude, it's been so cold in Dallas the last couple days. I fished a tournament on Saturday. It was great. It was set like 69 degrees, I think was the high, or like 65. And then Sunday morning it was 18 or 20 with the wind chill blowing out of the north all crazy. All right, double checking where we're at here. We're going to have to do some descent profiling because we don't have a profile set for that, but we'll give a few more minutes here. Hope you and the kids get well soon. Don't think to T-Tut Company. ATC knows you are with them. The fact you are speaking to them. What? Oh, I guess you're not talking to me. Late to the show. Hope all is well. Any plans for a Lear 35 Freight Dog stream with a new update? Yes, AJJ. And I did see all of Just Flight stuff is now 2024. And there was something else I wanted to that came out 24. Drawing a blank. Everything is basically getting in 24 a native now, which is great. Heat wave in Iowa, it was -1, now it's 32. Jeez. I think we got a night of 28 around New York City. It's been frigid. Yeah, that's cold, man. Aerostar, that's the other one I've been wanting to fly. Yes, the Aerostar. The Aerostar, Piper Aerostar. Who plays tonight? Is it anybody worth watching, or should we do a GA stream tonight? Let's see. It's 2:30. We're 170 miles from TOD. I can't do... I can't do lyrics, though. 66 in San Diego or South Dakota? I don't know what SD is. Sounds beautiful, though. Vodka, you're on the fence with the Aerostar? We're going to take a look at it. We're going to take a look at it. Because I thought it had a lot of potential. I obviously flew it in early access. Oh, Miami versus Pittsburgh. Ooh. I kind of want to watch Aaron, though. Sling it. Steelers fan here, don't watch the game, not worth it. Do you think DK Metcalf can score 50 points tonight? How much do I need for my fantasy team to put out Casa Bonito? Nabil says, you got a freeze warning in Houston? Tomorrow will be 70. Just Texas, man. Just good old Texas weather, isn't it? When you flew to Mexico, did you receive and have to read back a full flight plan clearance? I flew there the other day. Yeah. Yeah, into the winds. Yeah, man. That's they don't do well. For instance, so like anybody who knows, I was pretty much the Cancun whore. I would just do Cancun turns, man. In Cancun, there's no CPDLC, so it's full route clearance most of the time. Or they'll say, they'll give you the first, half of your flight plan, then they say as filed because they got to change one specific thing, and then but yeah, that's pretty common. If you get a new guy going down there on the bus and he's trying to read back the clearance slowly, and then you get the microphone timeout because he had the mic pressed. Now you got, FO mic in op thing. You got to do that. Yeah, that's pretty common. 350i is same as previous one from 2020, but a standalone 24 version. Oh, really, Vod? There's a 350 now? Oh, no, you want Nick. Yeah. I really want Black Square King Air. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so 100. I need 30. I need 55 points between DK Metcalf and the Steelers defense. That ain't going to happen. That sucks. What a terrible, terrible league. Bush League. Scrubs. All of you. Finally gone over to 2024 using Game Pass, and I'll buy the full version, but any point going to Lux Aviator, I'm just going to use all the usual free add-ons. Well, Scotty 2, here's the thing, man. You can buy up. So if you get the cheap version and there's an airplane you want, you can buy it from the marketplace for a price. Now, if you're going to end up buying, 3, 4, 5 airplanes from the marketplace, then maybe the price of just going to the Aviator. I have the Aviator version. That's what I have. And I've been very happy with it. It's really just, it's all your personal, what you personally want out of your sim. If you want more default airplanes to fly, maybe do a little cost analysis on that. But as far as the core sim, you're not missing out on anything by getting a cheaper version. And like I said, you can buy most of the stuff that you want that comes in the other packages from the marketplace. So just kind of tailor it the way you want it. How do you set up VNAV descent from SimBrief or FMC, however you do it? How do you set up VNAV to descend from SimBrief? Well, you won't descend from SimBrief. SimBrief is just your flight plan. But for the FMC, we're going to do that here in a minute. As you can see, we're 156. Can you see that? Is it 155 miles from top of descent right now? But we also have to set up our descent legs because I don't think we have anything in there. Oh, actually we do. We do have stuff from, we've got 14, 10, 8,000 or above. That's coming down the star. And then the Maybach. So now these are all aboves. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make this a hard altitude of 8,000. And if it's after the slash, you don't need to put a slash. You just put 8,000. I'm going to make that a hard altitude of 8,000. Now let's see what our new TOD is. Okay, 152. That looks good. This is just going to help me. I'm going to make that a hard 7,000. Actually, let's make the last one that's above. No descent after EDPAN. Why is that? Let's come in here. Let's take a look. All right, let me see here. Sasta, Gra. Dabley. Let's make Dabley a hard 14. For cinematic purposes. Alright, so 14, 10, 7, couple ladder aboves, and the bottom is 5,600. Let me see, zoom this in here. And we gotta go data. Or above 7, Maybach 6,500. Let's go to descent 79307. Descent winds request. Let's get the winds. We'll throw on the weather. I don't think there's anything out there right now. Watching the stream at 3x to get caught up is interesting. High altitude, you're a Finns fan? I'm sorry for you, man. My father-in-law's a Finns fan. If you're on the 7.5, you'd be still waiting for it to calculate the TOD. Dude, I wish I could be on the 7.5. I never had to accept for maybe once, and it was a short route. Flew to Mexico City, and apparently it's almost always, I heard, doesn't seem efficient. Yeah. There's flying south of the border, man. There's a whole lot of things that are different than what we're used to here in the States. I maximize my YouTube vid and podcast in my commute to work by watching and listening to everything at 2x. Nice. Can't wait for PMDG to get the fans FMC. Are they going to do the updated FMC? I don't know if that's in the pipeline or not. Someone needs to come up with a better avatar creator tool where you can import a photo. Ooh. I'm going to have to change it. I'm actually going to have to do like FO stripes on that avatar there. It's every time in Mexico, they always give a full route clearance to the border. It's 100 times worse in Cabo where there's 20 planes all leaving at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, Cabo during rush hour is not fun. That was my first flight off OE as a captain, was Cabo. Cabo turn. Yeah, it's supposedly coming out a month or so after 24. Interesting. All right. Did you know that there's fully touchscreen CDU option for the 737? Yes, I did know that. I think it might even be the default in the MAX 10 called the TCDU. Yes, and I think that's a terrible idea. But I don't like touchscreens in airplanes, man. I've messed with the Garmin 750 Real World and did not like it, man. I am not a touchscreen fan for aircraft. Not a touchscreen fan. But I have seen that. I have seen the TCDU thing. Man, we got a 96 knot headwind. That's what's really slowing us down this flight. All right. What is our fuel? 11.2. Top of descent's 8.9 there. Beautiful. All right. I kind of like the shadowed version. Jeremy Harvey, what's up, man? I think the 350 has touchscreen. Yes, it does as well. Does as well. I can't believe there's no Cabo scenery. Jobu Rome, I know. It's been a long time. There was a free one for 2020. I don't know if it works in 24, but there was a free one that was half decent for 2020. You might want to try if it works in 24. I don't like the GTN, but it saved my ass in the Lear. Yes. The Lear, when that, it's not, the Lear's not 24 native yet, is it? I'm missing that Lear, man. That Lear jet looks pretty wild. I remember streaming it, and I'm just on a constant state of like hanging on to positive control of the airplane. I'm from Canada, and ours is usually even shorter than the U.S. We get departure, trans, fly, plan, route, squawk. Interesting. Oh, they removed Cabo from the FSTO? I don't know why you got timed out there, AJ. You'll be fine, man. You'll come back. I think because you put the .to. Hit the like button if you remember the Russian bots. So I have a timeout for Nightbot if you start posting anything with dots, because the Russian bots used to spam our chat boxes. Those were the days, man. Is it going to feel weird when you're on the line and you see an Airbus in front of you? Yes. It'll probably look so much taller. Starship, that's what I want to fly again. Golly. We're going to have to come up with a schedule this week. PM streams need to be some sort of piston Tuesday night, Starship Wednesday night, Duke Thursday night. I missed the Starship, man. I actually watched Nabil's video again this weekend. It's just so good. we should hit the 7.2 again, you know? Take a little look at it. Oh, for the X-Plane people out there, what is the status of the 707 in X-Plane 12? Do we have a release date? Do we have any update on that? Because with my recent dabbling in X-Plane 12 with the Rotate MD-11, I'd be very curious to see how that 707 is. Oh, Thursday is 7.3 launch day. You know what we should do Thursday then? Is we should do a flight. I will be in X-Plane maybe. And maybe we can do a flight together on Iveo Platinum, because it'll work on X-Plane. It does not work on Platinum. Does not work on Microsoft. But we could do a. I could fly along something. I could do a 3-holer. I'd love that MD-11, man. I do love that rotate MD-11. It's a lot of fun. Zach, you ever flown a Starship? I know, same here, man. But it's such a good airplane. I should do a VATSIM flight. Still can't do VATSIM on Microsoft. Still banned. Will always be banned. So. FSS jet X-plane textures look outdated now. Ew. Miami St. Martin on a classic 7.3 aviation, dude. What about Thursday? We fly the IXEG. We could fly the IXEG. Everyone will be flying the NGs, and we could do a platinum flight. Why ban on VATSIM? Still banned for not sending in my ID. I was listening to Captain Canada earlier this week, and he's under the assumption that I was banned because I had multiple accounts from the get-go. That's not the case. So back before, quick rundown, I get this question all the time, so I'll just timestamp this for anybody that asks the question. Back before you could log in with your user ID on VATSIM, they required you to log in with your name. This was years ago. So I had my account. I started to become a streamer with said account, and I was like, well, I don't want to have that information out there, right? So then I put a different name on it. That account got banned, but I didn't know that account got banned because I actually didn't even have the recovery email for it. I just knew that I couldn't log in anymore. So what does any good pilot do? Improvise, adapt, overcome. I made a second account, and I had it all legit, but then that got stream sniped. And then I realized what the problem was, because then I had the email. They said, you've been banned. I need to see your ID. And I was like, no, you don't. And then, then after that, we've made multiple burners. I think we're at like 7 or 8 burners. We got 2 working still. That's the TLDR for VATSIM. But people say, oh, why didn't you just use your CID login? This was before CID login was a thing. So they used to force you to log in without CID. And that's when it all started. So, it's a principle. People are like, why don't you just send a fake ID? No, because I don't think anybody should be demanding IDs from anybody on the internet, especially if you're ill-equipped to handle that information. So in Europe, it's actually illegal. So I think that's a bigger part of the problem. And, if you're an older person, you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to send anything sensitive, but what if it's a kid, and a kid just submits something and he's not thinking about sensitive information? I just think it's stupid. I just think that's a problem. So out of principle, I will not send a fake ID, or a real ID for that matter. I keep getting alpha floor lock when I take off in the 321. Anthony Teal, that is a problem. Are you flying the Fenix? This used to be a problem on the Flight Factor in X-Plane 11. I think you're getting alpha floor. Are you rotating too fast? You might be rotating too fast, or you might be pitching up too aggressively. Remember, alpha floor is a predictive function of AOA. So you're not necessarily stalling, but you're doing something where the alpha floor is predicting that you're going to get into a high AOA or excessive AOA situation, and it's triggering alpha floor. So you're either rotating too fast or you're pitching up too much, or your speeds are way off, and after you rotate, you're like, just something's happening. That should not be normal. I've never experienced that in the Fenix. So although I'm not 100% certain, I'm about 95% certain that there's something happening user error there. I don't think it's a bug, but there's something happening with that rotation that's causing that. Or maybe you're way out of trim somehow. I'm not sure. Dalton says the minimum age is now 16. Oh, really? How are they going to enforce that? That's interesting. I fly the Starship every weekend. It's so good. I love the 90s feel. I know. The sounds, 1211 Ronin, the Starship, is a lot like some of the Just Flight stuff, man. I think we're like, it's one of the best add-ons out there, and it's really under the radar because not many people know much about Starship, but it is one of the few rare 100% passion projects from a developer where you can tell from the minute you load into the Starship, you know that it's just, you can sense the pure passion from Nick in that airplane. There's not a lot of airplanes in the sim. We have a lot of great airplanes in Microsoft 2020, 2024. There's not a lot like the Starship where you can feel every ounce of passion that was put into that airplane. So we're going to have to fly it this week for sure. Classy Traveler, thank you for the $10 super chat, man. Appreciate you. V1, hope your training is going well. It's always difficult to start a new job from scratch. Enjoy a latte on me. My man, thank you so much, Classy Traveler, for that. The next pumpkin spice latte is on you. Peppermint mocha. Thank you so much, Classy Traveler. I really do appreciate the $10 super chat. And I look forward to seeing you the rest of this week and hope you have a great holiday season, man. Mick Shiggity Pilot. Man, that's a name I haven't seen in a while. How you doing, Mick Shiggity Pilot? How do you get out of alpha floor if it happens? That's a great question. So in this particular case, if he is at rotation and you get alpha floor, and we're talking classic Airbus, because this is actually changing Mick Shiggity Pilot with the Neos and FMS2 and Release 2. There's actually smart alpha floor and smart exit. What's going to happen is you need to lower the angle of attack because, remember, it gets triggered by a anticipation that you're going to exceed the critical angle of attack. So first things you got to do is you got to get out of that critical angle of attack. So you got to lower the angle of attack, and now you're going to be in what's called thrust lock, as long as we're in the classic aircraft. So you've got to get the aircraft out of the thrust lock configuration by pressing the instinctive disconnect push buttons. You could also just advance the thrust levers to Toga, and then you could bring them out of Toga. You could also bring them to idle and then bring them back up, but you would not want to bring the thrust levers to idle on rotation. That would be a very bad technique. So if you got it at rotation, the call is you're actually going to be Toga 15 is what you're going to pitch for. You're going to go man Toga, and you're going to pitch for 15 degrees because you got to figure out what's going on. Do we have unreliable airspeed here? Is this an actual stall? What's happening? But and the same thing would be true if you're at altitude. Then you could get out of thrust lock or Toga lock. Excuse me. You could get out of Toga lock by bringing the thrust levers to idle. But the proper way is to match and mash by pressing the instinctive disconnect push buttons, and well, actually, you wouldn't be matching if you're in Toga lock. You just go to Toga and then disconnect them. Yeah, bring him to idle is not wise. But good to see you, Mick Shiggity Pilot, man. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas and holiday season, man. Mick Shiggity Pilot has been around, man, since the original videos of this channel. Original videos, like not even streams. I remember seeing Mick Shiggity comment on some of the first videos I ever did. Release the death grip. All right. We are only 50 miles from TOD. Fantastic. Let's get some wing view action in here. Ooh, we got a little weather out off the out there. That's good. Let's go ahead and we'll probably start prepping here. I'm actually going to throw us out on the wing view. And while we're at wing view, let's do some init ref here. I'll plug away with the box. We are going to do an ILS. We're going to be flaps 30 and 140. We'll throw that in there. ILS is 111.3 and 254 on the courses. It's so nice having this autopilot panel working. Whether you fly the Airbus or the Boeing, and I'm not sponsored by Wing. Trust me, I wish I was. This is not a plug at all. But this is how you fly the aircraft in real life. You fly the airplane from the autopilot panel 90% of the time because the autopilot's engaged, right? And where you're not doing it here, you're doing down here in the box. So when you combine these two, if you're looking to really, and I know we talk about enhancing our simulation experience, and especially as we enter the holiday season, you may want to be getting a gift for yourself or someone. Being able to have physical controls where that mimic the real airplane and be able to fly your airplane with the autopilot panel it's such an immersion increaser, right? I would put, Force feedback is probably number one, and then some form of autopilot panel would probably be number two in terms of how you can increase your immersion level in flight sim. I'd do it that way. And then FMC is a whole lot of fun. I love not being able to have to look down and click little buttons. I'd almost put Bravo mods or some type of throttle quadrant as 3 and then FMC as 4. The FMC is a luxury, but it is really, really, really nice. Remember to correct the gross weight. What's wrong with the gross rate? Did we not do a gross weight? Let's see. So we're 110.3. Oh, yeah. Gross weight 131.2. No, we're not doing that. We're going to go here, and we're going to see we've got 8.8 on landing, right? So 8.8 on landing, and right now we have 10,000. So we're going to burn 2,000 pounds, or actually, no, 1,200 pounds. So, yeah, we're going to be 129.8-ish. I don't know. I don't even remember what other way you guys were telling me to do. Let's see, what is our TOD coming up in 40 miles? So let's go ahead and go back to work. Ooh, that was loud, sorry. We'll pause that, get the sim sounds back up. Let's take a look at our
Argentina
actual charts.
1886, Comodoro Rivadavia radar, expect W1 Quebec, runway 25.
Gotta get everything back
Expect
together here.
W1 Quebec, runway 25, Argentina 1886.
W1 Quebec, approach ILS 25.
Argentina 357, Comodoro Rivadavia radar, expect W1 Quebec, runway 25.
We'll expect that.
Expect W1 Quebec, runway 25, Argentina 357.
Could do the RDAV Yankee 25. We got Maybach though. We'll come in over the train. This might be more juice. Let's see. And then for the airport is super simple to navigate. 1 runway 25, 9,000 feet long. Right-hand turnoff at either Alpha or Bravo. 254 approach course. That checks out. Approach ILS Yankee 25 mins are going to be 269 straight in. I really thought Windwing would have these out by now. The EFIS part, I did order one, but see, I would love to have the EFIS. All right, 269 is set. 111.3. We'll dial these in. All right, 111.3 of both sides, 254, 269 is set. Go auto brake 2. And this actually should be blank down there, I think, right? I think so. All right, blank DND. That's checked. You could just add, here we go. Just add your landing fuel to your zero fuel weight. But then I got to go back here. Then I got to go back to here. I got to add 8.8, which is 129. That's a lot. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I'd rather just take my landing fuel, my fuel on board minus my landing fuel. I've never done. I don't like adding. I like subtracting better. Weird. But we're going to take the most conservative. Let's run some landing data. And actually, we'll call ready for descent. Bottom is going to be 5,100. Actually, no, 6,500 for Maybach. And since that's the final, or that's the initial for the approach, rather, I'm going to make that a hard 6,500. And then I'm going to dial in 6,500 right now. And I'm going to call ready for descent.
Argentina 357, W1 Quebec, runway 25. Report ready for descent.
We are about 20 miles or so, 19 miles out. Okay, we'll report ready for descent. We'll acknowledge.
Dobley
And
1 Quebec, runway 25. Call
let's
when
run
ready,
this.
Argentina 357.
Performance tool. All right, landing en route, imports 25. Aircraft details, we're going to do flap config 30, anti-ice off, air conditioning on. 129.8, that checks. VREF plus 5, auto brakes 2. I guess auto brakes 3 is more normal, right? Let's go auto brake 3. 4,500. And we're going to auto brakes 2. We don't want to stop halfway down the runway. The turnoff's not till the end. So auto brakes 2. Landing distance is set. That all looks good. Let me pull out my flow cheat sheet for descent here. So en route, we do all this stuff. Oh, there is no actual flow till after landing. So we're looking good, Chet. So really, we need to learn our after landing flows and our shutdown flows. Those are the really, actually, pretty much taxi to shutdown is what we really need to focus on the next few streams. We've got all the origination, pre-flight, the force start. We've nailed it, and those are the longest ones.
357, descend to flight level 140.
Okay, fine.
Descend to flight level 140, Argentina 357.
All right, 140, we're going to go descend now, execute, down we go. Now, Turks, I think we make, pilot monitoring will make the descent announcement, right? Oh, I'm going to have to get my PAs back on. They didn't teach me math at pilot school. Same here, Key 6.
Argentina
Vodka
1886, W1 Quebec.
You're coming
runway
along with me
25.
on this journey.
Report ready for descent.
Coming along with me.
W1 Quebec, runway 25, ready for descent.
Prague fuel at
Argentina
destination plus 0
1886.
fuel. It's another strategy.
Argentina 1886,
Prague fuel.
descend to flight level 100.
Prague fuel plus 0 fuel weight, is it all right?
Descent to flight level
You guys
100,
are crazy.
Argentina 1886.
I'm just going to put it in FMS plus. We'll be good to go. I'm working on type rating and shortbread cookies. Oh, dude, vodka. Send me some, dude. Send me some. The PM gets to kiss them goodbye. Man, I haven't heard that in a long time. It's been so long since I've flown an actual airline flight. When was my last flight? Was it September? I think it was. I think my actual last airliner flight was in September, right? Wow. It's been so long. When I went to base in dock, I got to fly a 787-800. Okay, I forgot to mention this. The 787, it's hot take, is the most mid-air plane I've ever been on in my life. The flap sounds are terrible. It's super quiet, so it's actually nice. But I was thinking, I'm on a 787, right? I'm like, would I ever want to fly 787? And I'm looking at this all like composite wing and electric flaps. I'm like, no, not Jack, not for me. I do not get excited on a 787. The window dimming was cool, but compare that to a 747. I think that's why I never have the itch for long haul flying. Because if we had 747s, I'd be all over it. But the 787 does not motivate me at all. Takeoff was super mid. It was whisper quiet. I have a pretty HD video I took from the wing view. I was pretty much sitting right here in this seat on the 7.8, and I was not impressed from an aviation enthusiast standpoint. It seemed super mid. Mr. Rendazzo's in the house. Good to see you, my man. It says, new build coming for you tonight. Tons and tons of refinements. Well, chat, if we get the build before I go leave the HQ tonight, it looks like we got a second stream. Good to see you, Mr. Rendazzo. Hope all is well. And been absolutely loving the 7.3, man. You guys are doing a really good job. I think most of the chat has been very excited as well. Yeah, I'm retro, Mr. G-Sus. Like, I walked around the 7.8. Like, I went to see the galleys and where the crew rest areas would be. I'm like, you want me to be on this for 15 hours? No. No, Jack. I actually think, hear me out, I think the 777 is better than the 787 in terms of aviation enthusiasm. Because I saw, we were parked next to a triple that was going to Heathrow, and we're in a 7.8 going to Miami. And I felt like I was on a Temu 777. It's like the all-electric Walmart version of Boeing's 777 is the 787. Plus, the nose looks like it taxied into the terminal building. I don't know why Boeing decided. Well, I'm sure I know why they decided to change the nose designs for aerodynamics and efficiencies and all that penny pusher stuff. But Boeing's has always had beautiful aircraft. The 787 nose, that was a miss. That was a swing and a miss. Now the wing flex, I mean, it's cool. See how big the wing flex and the wing there's some cool things about it. But man, that nose design, no sir. I agree. The 777 has more character. Yeah, Captain Chemtrails for sure. And you know what has more character than the 777? 757. Golly, I wish I could fly a 75. Captain Chemtrails, are we going to get a 757 professional series when that airplane drops? How was your base dock experience, by the way? They treat you well? Yeah, it was great, man. Minus my 6-hour delayed flight on the way home, I spent more time sitting in the airport waiting to go home than I did in the classroom. So that was not exciting. And I had another option to take a flight. I was supposed to leave at 2:45. I didn't leave until 6:30 p.m. And in that process, there was a big emergency at home. My daughter slipped, fell, had to get stitches. Luckily, the pediatrician that she goes to lives out by us. So he did a house call, stitched her up, and it was just mayhem, dude. But I guess what happened is they took a tire off. They had to replace the tire because I was logging in to see the EAML, just practicing. And I saw that they found on pre-flight there were cords were showing. So they pulled the tire off, and it took them 4.5 hours to change the tire. And when I boarded, I asked the captain, I was like, what's going on? It was a 4-hour tire change. It's like, I guess when they pulled it off, they damaged the anti-skid. So they had to then fix the anti-skid system. So it was just a big thing. But Turks, you beat me to it. I did. First class on the way back. Had a wonderful meal. Chicken pesto. Dude, it was great, man. I was loving it. Did some CBTs. So overall, great experience. I realized if you walk the entire length of that D terminal there, it's 11,000 steps. Very long. But it was a good experience all the way around, except waiting to go home. That was it. That's just airline stuff, man, though. That's just the airline business for you. Mr. Rondado says you should complain to the airline's HQ. That would endear you to them. So the new guy sent us a letter. I know, man. I feel like such an imposter still. I haven't been a new guy in so long that I just feel, even boarding, I felt like I was doing something wrong by checking in because I don't even have my uniform yet. I feel I have massive imposter syndrome going on right now. Especially getting on that 7.8. I was like, wow, am I sure I did this right? Am I supposed to be here? Is this legal? I'm just used to being beat over the head for the last 10 years. Like an abused puppy. AJ, thank you for the $3 super chat. Gonna ground maintenance messed up a tire change. The Pep Boys. Are they the Pep Boys? Yeah. That was a long tire. I mean, I've had tire changes in the Airbus before, 40 minutes. Now, if you have brake fans, I think it takes a little bit longer. But man, I've had pit crews in Detroit and stuff. They change a tire in 40 minutes or less, which was another interesting point is they made us deplane, which I've never had a deplane before at my previous operator for a tire change. So that must be a maintenance protocol that they have. But yeah, we had a deplane. So actually, the full story was we were already 45 minutes late because we were waiting on flight attendants. Then we start boarding because they show up, and then we have to deplane because at pre-flight they found cords showing, which then led me to think, why didn't you guys do the pre-flight 45 minutes ago when you were waiting for the flight attendants? But again, new guy, cooperate, graduate, sit there, go get some kolaches, or not kolaches, go get some, what are the empanadas? Just wait. 4-hour tire change sounds like my job working at an unnamed chain tire shop in high school. Is that the Windwing 737 autopilot? It is indeed. It is indeed. And I am happy to report that it is working out of the gate with SimMap Pro. There is no need for, as of right now, like everything is working full bore. Like you don't need to run, what's it called, that other program, MobiFlight.
Argentina 1886, contact Ushuaia, approach 118.1.
All right, we'll put
Contact
terrain on
Ushuaia,
here.
approach 118.1, Argentina 1886.
There's no weather to worry about. We're getting ready to go through 19 thou. Transition levels by ATC trans altitude 8,000. All right. I guess we'll just leave the ILS up here. There we go. That's a more realistic view. Man, it just looks so... I feel like I'm so off. There we go. Hurts my brain. BKG Blueface, how's it going, my man? Thank you for the 29 months support. How's training going? Merry Christmas to you and the fam. Hey, right back at you, man. Merry Christmas to you. So far, my training has consisted of just home study and some basic indoctrination stuff. The full-blown sim training will begin in January. So far so good, man. Been doing some home study, been practicing flows, checklists, things of that nature. I'll tell you what, having the NG has really expedited that because I'm a visual learner, so I can read how to do a flow all day long, and then you ask me to do it, I'm going to struggle. But if I can sit here and work through the flow and actually see visually where I'm going, okay, boom, 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 do all this stuff, come down the panel, and I can see it, then I retain it much better or much faster. I retain that much faster. And it's been awesome having the PMDG for that reason. I doubt I'll get a chance to be a skipper on the 7576 because they're parking airframes, so vacancies are non-existent. Oh man. Well, hey, at least you got the type you can hang your hat on. That's still really neat, man. I was thinking maybe they were gonna still have some vacancies for y'all, but I didn't know they were parking them at a rate at which that would be non-existent. That's gonna be real sad, man, when there's no more passenger 75s flying. That's going to be a real sad day. Mr. Randazzo says, I was in Ushuaia on Queen Mary's second maiden visit to South America back in February of 2006. Wow. Incredibly interesting place. Getting there by ship puts air travel into perspective.
Argentina 357, contact Ushuaia, approach 118.1.
Contact Ushuaia, approach 118.1, Argentina 357.
Oh, screwed up our VNAV here.
Ushuaia, Argentina 357. Good afternoon. Flight level 141. We have Yankee.
Argentina 357 Ushuaia approach. Good afternoon. QNH 1005. Expect the ILS Yankee runway 25 with the Maybach transition.
They're going to want me to level, but I got to catch up.
1005. Expect the ILS Yankee runway 25 with the Maybach
Mr. Randazzo, though, I can only imagine getting down to Ushuaia in
Argentina 1886. Descent to
in a
6,500
boat.
feet.
It's on my bucket list. It's definitely on my bucket list. I would love to come down here.
Argentina 357. Descend to flight level 100.
All right, 100 set.
Descend to flight level 100, Argentina 357.
Argentina 1886. Cleared direct Maybach. Cross Maybach at or above 6,500 feet. Cleared ILS Yankee runway 25.
But yeah, this whole part of the world is on my bucket list for sure.
Cross Maybach at or above 6,500 feet. Cleared
Queen
ILS
Mary
Yankee runway
second,
25.
Queen Mary 2. My grandfather was on the Queen Mary when he went to Normandy Beach, or no, I can't remember where they dropped him off, but he was on the Queen Mary. They World War II took him over to European theater.
Descend to 8,000 feet. QNH 100.
All right, 8,000 level
Argentina
change.
357.
Speed, intervene, 240. We're going to level change her down now. Oh, that's me. Oh, see the rest mode. There we go. I'm getting high on this too. All right, down to 8. We're catching it. Let's get the retracts on as we come through 10. Everything is good up here. Sounds are coming up.
Argentina 357, descend to 7,000 feet.
Descend to 7,000 feet. Argentina 357.
Yeah, we're left this high here pretty good. Let me get flight recorder ready. That's right. If we have to go around, we can practice our go around. It'll be pretty cinematic. Now I do have a. I'm watching this right recorder. That's where we're getting started here. I have a 2020 Siri that claims it's updated for 2024. I'm hoping we don't get the short final stutter, but if we do, then we know why. But yeah, we are going to be way high on this. Methinks.
Argentina 357, descend to 6,500 feet.
6,500 set.
6,500.
Well, we might be all right, actually.
357.
We might be all right because we're still. I forgot. We're still ways out here.
Oh wow.
Argentina 357, cleared direct Meebok. Cross Meebok at or above 6,500 feet. Cleared ILS Yankee runway 25.
Cleared direct Maybach. Cross Maybach at or above 6,500 feet. Cleared ILS Yankee runway 25.
That
Argentina
looks awesome.
357.
Man, I really like this livery on the 7.3. All right, 1006 HPA is set. Hectopascals. We're cleared at or above 6,500 feet. I screwed that up. I screwed that all up. Final approach course glide path. That's fine. I guess we're going to fly it at nav. We're slowing down. Below 250, flaps 5. Throttletek, Swarm. Throttletek. Throttletek 320 Quadrant. We're running the Throttletek, or no, we're running the Blackbird Control 7.3 levers right now on the Honeycomb Bravo because I still have my A320 Quadrant on.
1886, contact Ushuaia Tower 123, decimal 85. Have a good afternoon. Contact Tower 123, decimal 85, Argentina 1886.
Try to catch up to this here. I'm gonna need to throw the gear. Good practice. All right, flaps 30. Speed brake armed. Recording is on. I totally spaced on all of our checklists. That's not good. It's on a before landing checklist. Approach briefing complete. Seatbelts. I didn't get those. We didn't do any of that. We were just hanging out talking. PA's completed recall check. Auto brakes as required. HUD is set. Radios display set. Cross check. Speed brakes armed. Green light. Gear down. 3 green. Flaps 30. Green light. Landing checks complete. Recording is on. Confirm. This is. Right into the sun here. Airport's in sight. We did good. We actually caught up to it quicker than I thought. We're still ahead of the game. This will probably be me real life. Be like, why the heck are you throwing the gear so far out? I'm panicking. That's probably the hardest part about learning a new airplane, is learning exactly how far out and when you really need to start throwing out all the drag. Managing that energy state. That's always the hardest part. Once you get a couple hundred hours, 1,000 hours on the airplane, you're like, okay, I know I can make it from here, I can make it from here. But when you're new, you're like, I don't know.
Argentina 357, Ushuaia Tower, continue.
All right, we're continuing.
Argentina 357.
Oh, I need to get, AJ, I need to get the fishing app from Parallel 42. I might get that after the stream.
25.
So how'd I screw up? I screwed up the final approach course and glide path because... not do that. Or was it because we were so far out? I'm curious. I'm going to disengage the autopilot. So if I go like this, so I'm going to go VLR load. Oh no, to get out of approach jail, this is a good way to get unstuck. The flight director's off. The flight director's back on. There we go. Look at that. Chat, we're learning things. There's our low glide slope. Hey, we're also getting high now with the glide slope. Alright, best part about the magnetic switch? That's so much fun. Alright, I have control, autopilot's off, flight directors are off, flight path vector's on because I'm an Airbus pilot. Flaps 30 on this one, flaps 30.
Argentina 1886, exit right next available taxiway.
Man, if we would have flown this at sunset, this would have been epic. We mistimed this. Maybe replay will do at sunset. Nah, AJ, we're not popping any overhead bins on this one. Mr. Randazzo's had enough abuse flying in the back of our virtual airplanes. We're going to butter this one out, hopefully. Configured 49 miles out. Yeah. I get a call from Foco and be like, so, why'd you throw the gear at 65 miles? Big gustle in there. So that went from 9 to 18 knots. So we may get a sinker on the backside. Yeah, it's trying.
Approaching minimums.
Just a little hot over the
Minimums.
numbers here.
50, 30, 20, 10.
Check close, hold the attitude. New flight deck to sim proud. Deployed. Manual brakes. So I've made some adjustments to my rudder pedals. I actually like this better. Look at that windsock straight out. I'll have to show you guys.
357, exit right next available taxiway.
Oh, that's this one.
Exit right next available taxiway, Argentina 357.
All aircraft be advised information will now current QNH 1006.
Alright, now this is what I need to, alright, so it's going to be down, exterior lights, I'm going to do this.
Argentina 357, request taxi to assigned gate.
Argentina 357, gate 1, taxi at pilot's discretion.
Gate 1
Alright,
taxi
so
flight
flow
discretion,
for the after
Argentina
landing,
357.
flaps coming up, stabilizer trim 5 units, auto brake off, flight directors off, weather radars off, exterior lights and anti-assess required. Alright, cool. So it's going to go to steady, off. Alright, cool. We got to work on those flows. This is the first time we've done those. With today's build, you'll have new rudder pedal interconnect that will match precisely the airplane's rudder tiller displacement to nose wheel steering response. It is amazing to use now. Oh my goodness. That will be awesome. So you guys hear that from Mr. Rondazzo. Today's update, when it drops, it's going to have a big update to rudder tiller displacement and nose wheel steering. Very cool. I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm going to have to try that. Maybe we'll have to do the return leg tonight. We'll have 100 knot tail. Just clear those up because that bothers me. Let's do... We're going to do the shutdown flow? I guess we will do the shutdown flow, so I'm going to start the now as we taxi. Jeff Fabiano, my man, how's it been, dude? Long time no see. I was actually just thinking about you the other day. I was like, man, I haven't seen Fabiano Caravan or Vision Jet flight in a while. Good to see you, man. Yeah, Sim Update 4, dude. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. I think you can go straight to IOE. Well, how kind of you. Don't mind my 65-mile gear extension. This Ushuaia is, I believe, this is a Flight Sim TO offering. So this is a freeware airport from Flight Sim TO that is compatible with 2024. For those that were asking in the chat there. All right, APU is up on bus. Clear right. That's all I gotta say. Clear right. Clear right, Captain. Nice landing. Clear right. I'll take the other one. Well, this guy's out here dancing and Bill's out here dancing. We do have the recording still going, so I will try to park as professionally here so we can do a replay on the parking job. Ooh, that was a harder. Brake set. All right, shutdown flow. I got to split this between captain and FO. So the captain is going to set the parking brake. He's going to turn the seatbelt sign off. And electrical is set. Oh, first officer is going to start levers. Transponder to standby. Air conditioning and bleeds set. We've had 3 minutes on that, so we'll go ahead and get the APU bleed up and running. Window heat and probe heat. That's next. Anti-ice is off, which I find this interesting that it's after shutdown. Electric hydraulic pumps off. Emergency exit lights off. Not armed. Off. Engine start switches auto. Oxygen, engine oil, hydraulic fluid quantities check. Hydraulics are good. Oil quantities 17 and 18. Arrival aboard, flight deck lights as required. Cool. And there's our full-blown shutdown. Look at the rudder displacing with the wind already. Very cool. All right. Not too bad. I'm going to stop the recording. Save that. Will my Windwing Airbus ever ship or ordered back in September? Ooh, I don't know, Marcus. Let's see what our landing rate was. Oh, chat. 171 feet per minute. I will take that. Better than our 200s we've been having. So we got a 171. That checks out. What we're going to do is we're going to do a panel state load and go right into replay. Or should we see what happens if we don't do that? For testing purposes, I want to try something. Never before tried again, so let's just see something here. I'm going to set my lights back. I'm going to set you back and back. I don't really think we need these, but out of curiosity. It's going to bring both engines back online. Hey, it's working. Cool. Fantastic. So in 2020, if I'm not mistaken, the replay tool that I use, and remember I use a third-party replay tool, so it's nothing to do with PMDG. Some add-ons work better than others, but in 2020, I used to have to put the startup state of the PMDG. I would just go to the active runway state. But this, all I did is went back to replay mode, moved the fuel masters up in the hydraulics, and we got an active replay working. So very cool. We'll save a long replay towards the end. Let's go ahead and run this forward here. We have, like I said, 65-mile final. Gears down. Again, I use Flight Recorder, or not Flight Recorder, I use, yes, Flight Recorder replay tool. Free off Flight Sim TO, I still think it's the best one out there. It's better than the in-game recorder, in my opinion, because you can immediately save it. Like if the sim were to crash right now, we could still just reboot the sim and have a replay. So the mountain textures are a little mid, that's for sure. Tender Aviation. Still better than X-Plane 12 will ever be. Yeah, I'm out there a little. They could use an enhancement. All right, flaps 30, green light. Kind of want to see what this would have looked like if we timed it better. Take full advantage of Sim Update 4. How are you liking the 7.3? Better or worse than the 320? What do I recommend? Oh, dude, it's completely, they're just two different airplanes, man. Do you want a Boeing or do you want an Airbus? Oh, I forgot to disconnect. Disconnected. I'll tell you what, Hunt 737, since your name is Hunt 737, if you get the PMDG 737, you will not be disappointed, I promise you. Oh, you mean real world? Airbus has got all the creature comforts, man. You're going to be so comfortable in an Airbus. But you're not going to be as respected. Because only real pilots fly the 737. Do you want to fly a plane or push buttons all day? You know, AJ, I have noticed that in all of the in-dock and all of the stuff that I have been experiencing in the early days of my new airline, everybody is very proud to be a 737 driver, and there are shots taken all the time at Airbus drivers. A220 pilots, we don't talk about them, Osco Stick. They don't even count. We don't talk about them here. I'll eat my chicken enchiladas off the tray table. Thank you very much. Yeah, true. I got nothing. I got no comeback to that. All an Airbus driver has to do whenever you start feeling like, yeah, I'm a 737 pilot, just have them send you a picture of their crew meal on a tray table. And then you'll realize you probably got the short end of the stick when it comes to creature comforts. That looked pretty good from wing view. Let's see what she looked like from outside view. And then we'll do Faviana replay mode. Oh, look, much better flare. A little off center line there. Oh, actually, pretty good. We had that 17 knot crosswind. Flew the nose down. Hey, I'll take that. I'll take that. Let's do the Faviana replay mode. So we're going to go here, Shift X, and reset El Camera. We'll go off, off. Where do we want to watch it? We want to watch it from this side. And we're going to do this. Like so. Boom, boom. Oh, type rate me now. Type rate me now. Just kidding. Congratulations, you went A to B with no problems. Now do it with a V1 cut and hydraulic failure. Oh, I just messed up my camera.
No.
All right. I'm going to get sail going because I got some things I need to do. I want to check a couple things and at the house and make sure everything is good. We might set up for a PM stream. Still would turn away if I saw your name on on one of my deadheads. Oh no. In the end, you're gonna like. In the end, you're gonna like what you like based on what you value more. Very true. Also very true. Yeah, I'm going to check for emails from PMDG. Maybe if we get one early enough tonight, we will do a second stream. I think we'll depart out of here. Maybe we'll do a flight out of Ushuaia PM. But until then, I'll let y'all have a couple of replays here. We're going to set up. We'll watch the approach come in at flaps 15. The extension from there. Yeah, this was fun. Thank you, Mathis Cock, Mr. Rondazzo, stopping by, PMDG. Always a pleasure to have them in the chat. Very excited for the release of this aircraft. Right now, anticipating the 18th. And if we get any more updates this week, we'll pass it on. What do I plan on stream? I don't have a plan yet. As soon as I get the email. As soon as I get an email, that's when I plan to stream. If it doesn't happen tonight, that's not a big deal. We're going to be streaming all week, so big study week this week. Thank you, Jeff, for stopping by. Thank you all for the support, the bank angle checks, the membership milestones. Thanks for hitting the like button, just hanging out with me on a Monday afternoon. If I don't see you tonight, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you tomorrow right back here at 7:37. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your night. I'm V1. See you!